Hello everybody, how's everyone doing on this fine day? I'm Missy Dupop, and as you may have guessed from the title and thumbnail of this video, today I'm going to be designing what I think the evolutions of the newly announced Hisuian forms of Growlithe and Braviary might look like. Anyone who has seen the recent Pokémon Presents probably knows about this new region Hisui, where Pokémon Legends Arceus will take place. And if you saw the game trailer, you probably know that this region does in fact have regional forms. I don't know whether it is considered a new region or not like that because, well, it's actually an old region. Over time, Hisui morphed and transformed into the region that is now known today as the Sinnoh region. And just like the region they reside in, some of the Pokemon morphed and changed shape too, evolving over time into the Pokemon we know and love today. The two Pokemon that were announced with these forms were Growlithe and Braviary, and today I wanted to show you guys what I think Hisuian Arcanine and Rufflet may look like. I took everything we know about these new forms, or should I say old, because technically within the world of Pokemon these were first, therefore making them older. I don't know, this is gonna be a confusing video. And the present day forms, and created some fan designs. So, how about we start with Hisuian Rufflet. To start off, I roughly sketched out the traditional Rufflet, just getting the pose and body shape. Though I didn't even try with the feet, as you may be able to tell. I knew I wanted the pose to be rather similar to the traditional Rufflet pose, and I just wanted to change up the wings. I thought about having one of the wings stick up, but I didn't really like how that looked. I decided this wing will stay the same, but just be a little bigger and maybe have a different design pattern. After I messed around with that wing a little bit, it was tail time. I was trying to give it a longer middle tail feather similar to the Hisuian Braviary's tail, but I couldn't get that to look quite right, so I went back to the wing and messed around some more. This wing ends up looking seriously different by the final version though, so pretty much just ignore it completely. It's fine. I ended up deciding that the other wing would be the one that is sticking up, and I realized now as I'm watching the video that this must be my go-to bird pose or something, because this is also the pose I gave to the middle evolution of my Pokémon Legends water starter. Whoops. I messed around with some designs for the wings and settled on one that I liked. Then it was time for the head feather thingy. Hisuian Braviary has this interesting psychic fire energy wing thingy feather on its head, and I think it looks really cool. I really wanted to include a simplified version for Rufflet. Maybe it hasn't quite harnessed its power at this age, and when it evolves, it learns to use these psychic powers to their full capacity. After that, I worked on the head feather fluff stuff. I had an idea that maybe this fluff could maybe resemble a parka tightly wrapped around someone. It seems that the Braviary and the Hisui region live in the snowy mountains. I'm betting that's pretty cold. Maybe this fluffy parka thing can help keep it warm, and help change it up a little from the traditional Rufflet. And after that, I was done. It was time to make the final version, and give it some real feet. Speaking of which, here is the final design of what I think Hisuian Rufflet may look like. Rufflet live in the mountains that stand tall above the Hisui region. Their fuzzy feathers keep them warm in the mountains. Sometimes when it is snowing hard, Rufflet will use their psychic powers to keep the snow from falling on their heads. So, what do you think? Do you like the design? I know it's a little simple, but I think it's cute. I really didn't have any idea for the concept besides pre-evolution to Braviary, which wasn't really good on my part. Maybe I should have based it on a different type of bird or something. I don't know. But anyway, I still think it's pretty cute, and it's time to design Arcanine. I'm really excited for this one. I actually designed Hisuian Arcanine first and put a lot more time and effort into the design and a lot more thought behind the design. So I actually like it a lot more than my take on Hisuian Rufflet. It's kind of a saving the best for last situation. Also, yes, this is a separate day. The voiceover of the first half of this video was recorded a day where I did have a minor sore throat. I apologize for the difference in my voice. Anyway, I took heavy inspiration off the Komainu, or the lion dogs as they are more commonly known in English. Hisuian Growlithe definitely seems to be based off of these statues. I figured Arcanine most likely will be too. Even the fact that Hisuian Growlithe guard their territories in groups of 2 resembles these statues. Before even sitting down to design this design, I knew that I wanted to do something more with that horn. So I pulled up some references, did a little research, and got right to work. The first thing I did was trace the traditional Arcanine. There is absolutely no way that I could just freehand that. And I needed a base for the pose. I got the good old trusty kneaded eraser out and lightly erased everything. It's kind of like lowering the opacity of a sketch layer in a digital drawing. I know you can barely see the drawing at this point, if at all, but as I draw the design you can see it easier. I started with the face area. I kept the face features relatively similar, but in the end they do end up changing a little bit. Next thing I did was mess around with the curly cloud-like fur that Hisuian Growlithe has. I was having a hard time making it look, not weird. Similar to the face, these curls do go through a lot of changes and transformation to get to the point where they are in the final version. I drew in some seriously angry eyebrows. When I was looking at pictures of the Komainu, their features are always rather prominent, and I really wanted to embrace that with the Hisuian form of Arcanine. I tried out a potential new horn, one that is made of rugged rock, and I ended up not liking it. I instead worked on the legs, giving it fluffy cloud fur in place of its traditional leg fur. I wanted to make one of its legs raised, resting on a stone ball of some sort. Most of the statues I'm taking reference from are resting their paws on either a ball or a mound of some sort. I tried to do research and figure out what exactly this ball is, but I was not finding anything. If you do know what this ball is, or what this cool whatever it is called, please let me know down below in the comments. I really wanted to incorporate the ball into this design, I just wasn't sure how. I scrapped the leg resting on the ball, not liking how it looked, and worked on the heat-retaining fur instead. I wanted to give it a cloud beard thing like Hisuian Growlithe has. The Pokemon Company will probably make this floof more prominent or change it up in some way, but I left it pretty much the same. Besides, I had an idea brewing, but we'll get to that in a minute. I worked on the horn some more, making it smoothed out stone instead of all rugged. And I worked on the tail some. The tail had me stumped. I wasn't sure what to do with it. Do I give it a cloud tail or a wispy fire tail? I ended up settling on a cloud fur tail, but I don't really like it. Even in the finished version, I wish I'd tried something different with the tail, it's just not my favorite. Next up, I drew the same stripes that traditional Arcanine has, and added the stone ball orb thingy resting in its beard fur. This was the idea that was brewing that I mentioned earlier. I thought that maybe this orb helps boosts the firepower upon evolving. I did some touching up details and then I was ready to make the final digital version. Look, your Growlithe is evolving! I present to you Hisuian Arcanine. In Hisui, when two Growlithe form a bond stronger than blood itself, they will evolve into Arcanine together. They often sit together, watching over their territory. If anyone threatens the area, they use their combined power of fire and rock to drive off the threat. It is said that the orb they carry around is hotter than the sun. So, what did you think? Did you like the designs I made today? Do you think Pokemon will go in this direction with Hisuian Arcanine and Rufflet, or do you think they'll go in a completely different approach? Feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. Real quick, I wanted to thank Dr. Cortex for suggesting this video idea. After watching the Pokemon Presents and the new trailer for Pokemon Arceus, I was so excited. I'm definitely playing this game when it comes out, for the channel probably. And, this is just such a fun way to help build the hype up around this game and, throw my hat into the ring. Anyway, make sure to give a huge thanks to Dr. Cortex. Next week, I'll be designing the main protagonist for my Pokémon region, so if you want to see that, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you did enjoy this video and these designs, feel free to give the video a like. It's the thumbs up down below the video. Anyway, it's time for me to go. I hope you all are having an amazing day. This is Missy Dupop, signing off. I'll see you guys next time.